Hello, welcome back. I've been doing some videos about jobs that offer housing, and the reason I've been doing these videos is for people who are like me that were living in their car, looking for a place to live, maybe need a job and are out of work and are looking to travel the country. Uh, so, this job that I'm going to talk about today is something that I kind of fell into on accident or found by surprise. uh, what I would like to do is start with a list of jobs that I've previously used in some of my other videos to give you an idea of jobs that offer housing. So let me pull up this slide to show everyone. And here we go. I'll just go over this list quickly because I think it'd be very helpful for you. Feel free to take a screenshot if you'd like. So basically, here's the list. We've got jobs that people can do temporarily, seasonally, and maybe long term. So, first job I have listed here is about being a campground host. And of course, something like that usually is a job you would work in the summertime. Uh, then you've got national park jobs. Those could be summertime only, or they could be year round. Ski resorts, of course, that would be a winter job. Fishing jobs in Alaska. That's something we talked about in a previous video of mine. So I'm not exactly sure what the seasons are for certain types of fish or crabbing. Uh, so then, if you move on down the list, I'm going to go over this one here that's on the list that says apartment manager, apartment custodian, or maintenance. And right below that, you'll also see something called housing manager. If I skip ahead beyond that, it does say cruise ships. I did another video about cruise ships if you'd like to check that one out. And some of the other ones lower down on the list, I've either gone over or will go over in a future video. But to get back to this topic of being in what I listed as apartment manager, apartment custodian, doing maintenance work, managing a housing situation, group housing. So let's talk about that because a little bit about my backstory is how I was basically uh, living in Arizona. I was offered an amazing job to come and move to Washington. And so if I came and I moved to Washington, I had no housing whatsoever lined up. But I really wanted to take this job because it was going to be a great opportunity. And I think in my mind, I was like, well, I'll just temporarily sleep in my car a couple of nights until I can find an apartment, find housing. And of course, I moved to Seattle. Seattle is actually, no surprise, a very expensive city to live in. Now, of course, the job offerings paid really well, but I was new in town. So, if they were to go off of what my employment was paying me, I had just started the job. So, trying to show your pay stubs and that sort of thing. Plus, you have to come up with deposits. So, I think you all know how that works out. When you move into a new place, usually first and last month's rent, you have to put down deposits just to get the electric turned on. And then, of course, the other things you might need, like, um, well, I had cell phone service, so I wasn't going to get a home phone hooked up, but internet service, anything else like that. There's always these expenses that it costs a lot of money to move into a place. But I was determined to move to Washington, move to Seattle, Washington, get settled in my job, find a place to live. And so in the meantime, I was basically living in my car, sleeping in my car, and just doing what I could do to get by until I could move into a place. I did check out apartments, and this is kind of where we get into this whole topic of how I found this opportunity, or whatever you want to call it, housing or job, employment, kind of all combined. But it's because when I first went to this apartment complex and I went to go check out the apartment, um, it was pretty clear to me that I was not going to be able to afford the rental. I mean, it was just kind of like way above what I was expecting to pay. Um, so they said to me, well, we would be willing to give you a discount on your rent if you would do certain things around the property, like pick up trash, monitor the garbage, uh, like making sure the garbage man, like that the garbage doesn't overflow. Um, and just like sweeping the hallways, just basic tasks, and that I would get a discount on my rent. And I thought, well, that's great because that would make my rent cost less. And plus, I already had a job, so it wasn't necessarily like this was going to be full time work. This was something I only do a couple of hours out of my day, because I thought, well, this would be a great opportunity. But it also got me thinking that maybe there's other apartment complexes out there that do this sort of thing. So that's what I started to do. Is I went online and I started to look for places that were hiring for some sort of janitorial maintenance work, something along that line, to find a place that would offer a discounted rent. So you basically have a place to live, which is great. And then you would also have some sort of employment, either by getting paid a small amount for working on the property, or having a discount on your rent, which is really like money coming towards you in a sense. So what I wanted to do was to just show you one example of a company that's doing something like that here in Seattle. Now, obviously, if you don't live in Seattle, these won't apply. So you will have to look in your own area to see if there's any companies that are doing this sort of thing where you live. So this is why I said I'm just giving this to you as an example. Probably by the time that I actually, that you watch this video and you go look at this website, they probably will already have this position filled. But I just wanted to use it as an example because you can get an idea of maybe what you could look for in your area to see if there's any apartments that are offering to hire for what they may call maintenance, janitorial. But this is the catch, or the kicker, is they might tell you that you'll be the apartment manager. And what does that really mean? Well, maybe you'll work in an office at the apartments, but what I found is a lot of these jobs that say that you're the manager is really you're just going to be like doing janitorial work. They're just going to have you sweeping and picking up the parking lot and taking out the trash. And it's really more of like this title that you're just like the on property manager, because some of these places, they don't always have an office for people to go and pay their rent at the office. Usually they'll just have someone that's on site, like that lives there 24 hours, that if there's an emergency, you're the person they're going to call. Um, that they may drop off rent payments to you at your apartment. And then you're, of course, responsible for cleaning up the property. And so there really are a lot of responsibilities involved, and there may be certain set hours they want you to be there. Or it may be that they just expect you to be somewhat on call, that you're not going to be working all day long, but as long as you're around or at the property during certain hours, because then if there's ever like an emergency, meaning like a water leak or something, that you're the person on site that's going to be the one to not necessarily do the repairs, but you'll be the point person to call for help of the whoever is going to come and do the repairs. So I'm just using all that as an example of what to expect in these kind of positions. So one more time, I'll just show you this list. Mainly, so if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead, look at this list one more time when I said apartment manager, apartment custodian, or maintenance. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take you over to this website. And the website is for a company. And here it is. It's sometimes referred to here in Seattle as LIHI. The LIHI stands for Low Income Housing Institute, if I've got that right. But they call it LIHI. And I'm going to just pull up this website, so hopefully you can see it better. We've got the Low Income Housing Institute. And what I want to do is click over here where it says careers. So this is where we're going to talk about what they offer. Now, first of all, as you notice, it is called low income housing. So obviously they offer low income housing to people in Seattle, but they're going to need people there on site to watch over the property. And that's pretty much what part of your job would be. So like I said, these jobs, whatever is here now, is probably not going to be here next week. So we'll just see what they have for now. But you could definitely contact this company if you happen to be in the Seattle area and you're looking for employment. So let me click on careers. And then there's a tab here that says to click here for what their current open positions are. Okay, so now we've brought up the other website that tells you what their current openings are. And I'm going to scroll down because I'm definitely looking for one here. Here's the one where it says on-site maintenance. Let me click on this because I want to show you what it says. So first of all, let me make sure that this information is clear. It does come with a salary. So it says $20.38 to $22.32 is the salary range. You would be working full time there, Monday through Friday, and it says some evenings and weekends as needed. And then what it tells me here is your rental rate for your apartment is $50 per month. You would only pay $50 per month for a one-bedroom unit, and you are required to live there on site. So you're probably thinking like, wow, what a great deal. I'd get a job and my rent's only $50. So you might think like, can I even do any of this stuff here? Am I trained? Do I have the background in this? So they're saying that you're primarily responsible for doing daily routine janitorial work. You might be doing some painting, some preventative maintenance, and it says limited skill level on the maintenance. So, they're not looking for someone who's like a professional plumber or electrician. So it looks like these are things that I would assume an entry level person could do some of this stuff. There is more information here down below as to what they expect, as far as what the qualifications are and all that. So this is just one job. Now, obviously, they have other openings besides this one, but I wanted to at least give you an idea of what we're talking about here. And so just to wrap up this video and make this short and sweet, I hope that you get a good idea of what I'm talking about as far as what's out there that you could possibly get a low cost apartment if you happen to be looking for work, or you're out of a place to live, out of a job, desperate, and you're looking for something that you really need to commit to because you don't want to continue living in your car or sleeping on your friend's couch, whatever. If you're struggling, this is something you should definitely look into. So I hope this video was helpful, and please have a good day and the rest of your week.